Oh, okay, so all right, today we'll see. So enterprise check is including monitoring and other orchestration stuff is there. So basically we'll see the Oxford check. Oxford check is basically it's a masterless. It's a masterless check. So it's like similar to Puppet what we have did it. The same thing we will write it. So here something code is something very chef code is so 100% we will language. So whereas Puppet code is Puppet code is Puppet. What is the Puppet code? Puppet code is Puppet domain specific
DSL.
Puppet domain specific language DSL language it uses. Where chef uses Ruby language. Okay. So it's similar to Puppet and the picture, both are similar. So it's like here writing the syntax is very similar. So except something symbols will vary. Otherwise, it's both are very similar. So like whatever we discussed, like so for each and every configuration step, each and every command, whatever you are executing in uh, in your Linux machine, so it is basically we are calling it as a resource. Okay, so that same. Okay, so that same is applicable here also. So here also we are calling it as a resource. Resource means It's a basic thing which we will execute in the Linux machine. So resource and its relationship only. So here Puppet manifest contains what's up? Puppet manifest contains resources and its relationship. The same way, Chef recipes also contains the resource and its relationship. So here I have a Puppet manifest equal to Chef recipes. Okay, so we are calling it as a Puppet manifest. Here in Chef language, we are calling it as a recipe. So recipe means what? Recipe means it's a Chef file. Okay, so Puppet manifest is a Puppet file and Chef recipe is a Chef file. So Puppet manifest file extends with .pp. Extends with .rb. That means exact Ruby file. So .rb means it's a Ruby file. So okay, so let me open. Okay, so Chuck, we will discuss all these things. Chuck, basically it's what is a node and what is a resource and what is a recipe and what is a run list and what is a public and what is a private and what is a search. So resource, we already know the resource. Resource is what is a resource? Resource is basically whatever the configuration thing you are doing in your Linux machine. Like you are creating the file and creating the directory and then copying the files, moving the files and executing the file. These are each and everything, whatever the minimal things in the Linux machine is known as a resource. And our Puppet manifest file, and then resource recipe file contains what? Resources and its relationship only. Resources and its resource means what? So creating directory and then creating file and moving file and then copying the file and then executing the file and then installing the package and then setting the configuration settings and installing software. So basically these are all things are so we are calling it as the resources. Okay. So and recipe is like a Puppet manifest. It's a collection of resources. Collection of resources. It's a bundled together in a single file is known as a resource. The collection of resources is what? The resource is basic configuration settings in a particular Linux machine or Windows machine, and then recipe is so basically it's a collection of your resources and its relationship is known as a recipe. Okay, collection of resources, collection of like your recipe people cook will create a recipe. How will create a recipe? You gather all the resources like ingredient. You gather all ingredient and then you mix it and then you'll create a recipe for that. So that same way, the recipe is basically it's a collection of your resources and it's a relationship. So that is we are calling it as a recipe. And then run list is basically ordered set of your recipes. You can call it a simple term is ordered set of your recipes. Hello, hello.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
What happened?
Sir, మేము శివకళ తిరుపతి నుంచి కాల్ చేసినాము. డాక్టర్ గారేనా మాట్లాడేది?
ఎక్కడి నుంచి మేడం? లేదు మేడం. సారీ, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Developers,
So,
developers.
so we will discuss all these things. What is a node? Node already, you resource already you know, and then recipe already you know, and node also you know. So node is each and every uh, like uh, like puppet master and then puppet agent, and then chef master and then chef node. So basically puppet agent uh, requirements we already discussed. What is a puppet agent requirement? Puppet agent requirement you should be puppet client should be installed on that particular machine, and then so puppet conf should contain the puppet server IP address, and then puppet agent should be certified by the puppet master. So these are the basic requirements for the puppet agent. That same way, so chef agent also something minimal requirement only. Something chef agent should be installed on that particular machine. That means chef client should be installed on that particular machine, and then knife should be installed on that particular machine. So knife command. So here basically we will use the knife, and then we'll go in detail in what is what and what is how we are going to use it. Node and then resource and recipe and then list of the cookbook. So cookbook is nothing but a puppet model. Cookbook is a collection of your cookbook is a collection of your recipes. You can say it's a collection of your recipes and then libraries and then you know JSON files or all the files. Like all the files are comprised into the cookbooks. So because we talk about only cookbooks and then recipes only. So because we don't talk about any other files. So Chef is basically it is an infrastructure as a code, and then so we'll go slowly moving to the infrastructure as a code. So infrastructure as a code is basically we are provisioning the servers. So we already seen the provisioning the servers using the Puppet. So that same way we'll provision the servers, whatever server you want to make it, whether you want to make it a DB server or whether you want to make it a web server or a Tomcat server or Java server, whatever the server you want to make, you can make the server within a minimal code uh, using the chef as well as a puppet. So and whatever the code you are writing, either you write in the either you use the Debian machine or CentOS machine or Ubuntu machine or Red Hat machine, that code can be run in on any machine. So you need not bother about them something for Debian and then Ubuntu machine I have to execute apt-get command, and then for Red Hat and then CentOS I have to run something minstall command. So we don't bother about it. So the Puppet and then Chef code itself will take care of. So how internally it will go and deal with the underlying operating system. So that is why whenever we discuss with the Puppet configuration management tool, so we discuss it as a declarative programming language. So Puppet and then as well as Chef and then as well as a Maven. So they basically these are the declarative programming languages: Maven, Puppet, Chef. So declarative programming language. Why we are saying the declarative? Because so only we will provide what is what. We don't discuss about how it is going to be how it is going to be internally interacting with the underwriting operating system underlying the networking. So we don't talk about it, we don't discuss about it. Basically so we'll only discuss about it what is what, how it is going to discuss what is the network, what is the server IP address, and what is the software, what is the version, what is the folder you are going to create it, what is the directory you are going to create it, what is the file, what is the file, and where do you want to copy it. So which file you want to export it. So only what and why and then what and then where only we will discuss most of the times. We don't discuss about how. So this is basically so power of this configuration management tools. That means so how is basically itself it will take underlying mechanism itself will take care of it. So we don't discuss about the how things. We only discuss about the what is what, and where we want to move the file. Okay, so chef ensures each node complies with the policy. There is something policy is there, so we will see that chef ensures each node complies with the policy, and policy is determined by the so configurations in each node's run list. So we'll see what is the run list as well. So run list is basically order set of execution, order set of executing your recipe files. So that is basically it's a run list, and okay. So, and again managing complexity. So how we do manage the complexity? Because in each and every organization they have one organization. They'll create organization and then they'll create environments like QA environment, staging environment, pre-production, end-to-end, and UAT, and then E2E. There are so many environments out there in each and every organization. So, and then roles also will create it. Roles we already seen it like DB role, JBoss role, CA role, SCM role, and then MQ role, and then for people will create a lot of roles. It depends on their organization. And nodes also we have seen. What is a node? Node is basically it's a which has a chef client is installed, and as well as chef client is installed, as well as your as well as knife should be installed on your each and every machine. And then so uh, fem file or configuration file is copied from your chef server to the local machine. So we will see whenever we do the practical. So recipes we already know. It's a recipes is a collection of recipe is a file, or recipe is a file which has a collection of resources and its relationship. Book is a collection of recipes, and then search is basically you will search what are the nodes are available within the chef server. This is organization. This is, yeah, development and staging and production. Examples of loads are load balancers and application servers and DB machines, monitoring machines. So these are all examples of the roles. Okay, so roles can also roles may include an order list of chef configuration files that should be applied, and this is called a run list. Run list is basically so which contains the ordered list of chef configuration files. Ordered list of chef configuration files that should be applied. Okay, so order list of chef configuration files, and then that should be applied on the particular node is calling it as a run list. Run list is basically it's ordered set of recipes. You can call it a simple term, ordered set of recipes. And roles may include data attributes necessary for the configuring your infrastructure. For example, the port that application server listens on, the list of applications that should be deployed. So we see in this. This is example of nodes. Okay. Yeah, nodes represent the, so already as we discussed, nodes represent the servers in our infrastructure. So something node is there, we are calling it as a node. Means it's a it's like a physical server in your local machine, physical server or in a virtual machine or cloud machine. Something there is a server is there, so we are calling it as a node. How we can call it as a node? We will see that. Could be a physical server or virtual machine. May represent the hardware that you own or computer instance in a public or private cloud. Could also be network hardware or switches or routers. Okay. So each node will belong to the one organization. So organization will create in Chef. So we'll go in organization in Chef. Each and everything will go in organization mode. Like we'll create organization first, and then we'll create a environments first, and then we'll create a roles, and then so we'll do a step by step process. So that's why in the each node is basically is a physical server or virtual machine or cloud machine. Each node will belong to one organization. At least it should be belong to one organization, belong to one environment, and it might have a role or doesn't have a role. That is secondary thing. So it should contain one organization and it should be part of the environment. So it might not have a roles. Okay, roles as we resource we already discussed. Resource is a piece of system. So basic configuration settings. Yeah, recipes configuration field that displays the resource and its desired status. The recipes can install and configure software components and manage files. and then deploy application and execute other recipes and more. And then so cookbook. So cookbook is basically the recipes are stored in the cookbook. So cookbooks contain recipes, template files, customs, resources, and it's accepted libraries, and then so many things are there. Code reuse and modularity. So why we are writing the cookbook? Because we can reuse the code and then as well as a modularity. So that is why we write a cookbook. So this is basically it's a run list. So this is my enterprise chef. So here it is my chef server is there, and then here it is a node. So node means what? Node first and foremost thing, first and foremost requirement is chef client or puppet client should be installed on that particular machine. Okay. So this is chef client. Chef client is installed, and then run list. So this is my run list. Run list. What I have written, NTP client I have written it, and then users I have written it, and then web server I have written it. So this is basically ordered setup. That means NTP client install on that particular machine, and then users also you create the users and then make it as a web server. So that is basically it's a run list. And then here we have a so environment plus rules plus data bag is a policy. So policy is nothing but a environment like QA environment, and then plus QA environment. Within the QA environment there is a DB role is there. With QA environment plus DB plus user data. Data bags is nothing but a user data like whatever we have written in the AML files in the Puppet. So that is the same thing we will write in the data bags. So in the form of JSON files. Okay, so in Puppet we have written in the YAML files. So whereas in Chef we will write in the JSON files. So environment plus roles plus data bag is known as a policy, and then recipes plus attribute is nothing but a cookbooks. Okay, so run list is ordered setup. So recipes, ordered setup the recipes, and then as well as the roles is known as a run list. Run list is basically something whatever we are writing in Puppet. So whatever we are writing, uh, whatever the Puppet manifest, Puppet resources, we will write something different. Something if you want to make it as a something DB server. So we will write a profile Java and then as well as a MySQL, and then Java and then MySQL is a recipes here. Java recipe Java and the recipe MySQL is a run list is basically. What is it? Yeah. Good question. We'll come to that. So what is the chef workstations? Yeah. So in Puppet, so Puppet will create something profile Java, profile DB, and then role include Java, and then include DB. Something will write it, right? So this role is basically so we are run list is basically something if you want to create a DB machine. So what do we want to do? What do we have to include it? Include Java. That means include profile Java, include profile MySQL. You see, this is a known as a run list. Run list is basically what are the things you are going to run on a particular machine to make it as a DB machine. So we are running two files. Two files. What is a Java file? One is a MySQL file. So what is a workstation? So what is a workstation, sir? Workstation is basically, so wherever you are working on it, wherever you are running the command, wherever executing the chef files, chef recipes, or Puppet manifest. So this is basically your workstation. So workstation is nothing but your computer or your desktop or your laptop or virtual machine or cloud machine. So maybe anything is a workstation. Okay. Puppet agent or chef node. So Puppet agent we already discussed. What is a Puppet agent requirement? Puppet agent requirement is basically Puppet client should be installed on the machine, and then Puppet conf should contain the IP address of the Puppet master, and then Puppet client should be certified by the master. So then we can some chef agent, chef node. We'll come to that chef node. What is the node? Okay, so this is basically it's a chef node. Chef node is again, it is again chef client should be installed on the particular machine, and then so there is something our in keys also something we will so in Puppet, so we will send a certificate to identify it as a client master. So in chef, how do you identify your server? So you have to identify your server to the knife command line tool. The knife command line tool is there. You come to that. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, chef node is basically so chef client should be machine and knife config server UI, and then client from We will see whenever we are working in the practical, we will come to know that. So like right now it is okay. Just remember it as a theoretical. So Puppet agent is something Puppet client should be installed on the Puppet machine, and Puppet can't should contain that IP address of the Puppet master, and Puppet client should be certified by the Puppet master. So, but whereas in Chef, so we don't have a certification mechanism. So instead of that, so we have to get the PEM file from the, so like say in the cloud machine, whenever we are using the cloud machine, we download the PEM file. Right? That same way we have to download the PEM file from the Chef master, Chef master or Chef server, and then we'll keep it in the local machine so that it will identify the server. So that is the way we have to do it. Okay, so yeah, so we'll go and install the Puppet. Uh, yeah, so if we keep on tell the theoretical things, we'll confuse it. Okay, so we'll go and execute something on the chef side. So then we'll understand it. Let us see whether it is working or not. So okay. So what did I say? Curl HTTP or Oxford chef install data sets. Okay. So curl -l HTTP. www.oxford.com/chef/install.sh and then sudo dash. Okay. Okay. Chef, open it server. Closing. Chef server is not okay. If you want to go for the lunch, you can go for lunch. You can come back. Is it lunchtime? Is it? Hello.
आपण आपलं बिल याची रक्कम आहे
Discussing about the chef node as well as a Puppet agent. Sure. Yeah. So this is the command we have used for the installation. So if you want to know down, you can go down curl -l http and colon // www.opscode.com and then /chef /install.s and sudo bash. So this is basically apps code company. Chef is basically from the apps code company. So it will directly go to the opscode.com and then check and install.sh. Okay, so once we enter it, and then it will automatically restart, and it will install everything, and then we have to just check the installation only. So this means what? So once you say the this is opscode chef. Opscode chef means it's a single node cluster or masterless chef. So only chef, we don't have any master, and then using the chef client only we will install the software, and then we do all the rest of the stuff. Okay. So let us see where is etc. Okay. So not very nice. CD, 280. Not there. Okay, it's not properly installed. I think it is deprecated. Okay, so I have a blog, so we go to the blog and then so see how we can install the chef agent. We will starting new fresh installation. Sub solo and its installation setup April. So it was I added this post in April. Okay, so that same thing. So this step we have done it. So but we need something chef repo also we need. So that we will download from the duplicate. Duplicate from the opscore chef repo tar1. So creating a new directory .chef. So these are the simple commands only. Okay, so we'll do as mentioned here. We go to root directory. Installation. So test cookbooks are created. So here, if you see here, what we have done is, so we just take the master tarball and then we just okay. So no questions, right? You know. Okay. So once it is done, so what we have to do is, so we are seeing right cookbooks, CD cookbooks, and then if you see CD cookbooks, CD test, and then CD. You open the CD test here, CD recipes. There is something default.rb. Okay. So now you can something, if you want if you want to write any code, you can write it here. Default.rb. So now tell me the simple code that we can create a file or something, create a file How can I create a file? Okay, so we didn't discuss. Okay, syntax is something very similar. So as we discussed, syntax is, so Puppet Chef syntax is very similar. Chef recipe syntax. Okay, so in Puppet, resource type and then resource name and then attribute, so value. So this is the resource declaration. Resource declaration. Okay. The same way in Chef, resource type, similar it won't change anything. Name and then do and attribute, value and then end. So this is the syntax. It is very fixed syntax. So that means if you see the above syntax and then if you see the below syntax, there is no much difference is there. It's very so minor difference is there. That means easily you can easily remember. So suppose if you want to create a file using this syntax. Okay, so file. What is the command? etc I want to create a test file, something test.txt. Then what I have to say? Do, right? And then content. What is the content? I will give a symbol. This is the new file. For chef resource test purpose. And then and. Okay. So now we have to say chef hyphen apply and then default dot rb. Just note down what we have done it. Okay, so once it is resources, so you can say you can create a number of resources here. Okay, so it's like a chef resource, and then so it is a simple file execution. So simple file something, if you write any file like defaults dot, here we are writing something defaults.rb, and then what we have done it, so we just what we have written, so in default.rb, so we have written just this file resource type. So file, and then so give the path, and then do, and then attribute, and then value, and then end. So we just say the end, and then it is installed. Suppose if you want to install Nginx or any other software, so then you can do that also. Default.org. So how can you install the package? So any command, what is the command name? What is the resource type? What is the resource type? Package, right? Package, and then what is the package name? Nginx, and then do, and then action should be installed, and then end it. So if I apply, chef apply, see install version, Nginx package also installed. This is the way we have to do the, we can execute the Puppet file, sorry, chef file, chef recipes. Okay, so then somebody asking the knife combining tools, very simple way of doing the things. So knife is basically, it's a command line tool, so which will help us to interact with the server. So because right now, so we are working in our workstation. So right now I am working in my laptop, and you are working in your desk, either your desktop or laptop or in cloud machine or virtual machine or whatever the machines you are working on it. So that is basically your workstation. So something from your workstation, if you want to interact with the chef server, so you need a tool. So that tool is known as a knife tool, knife command line tool. So knife command line tool is basically, which is very useful while interacting with the server, chef server. So somebody, if you want to interact with the chef server, suppose if you want to get something from the chef server, if you want to put something in the chef server, or if you want to get any information from the chef server, or whatever you want to do from the chef server, so you have to interact with the knife command line tool only. There is no other option. So I cannot directly, I cannot go and get the things, and then I cannot go and put the things in the server without command line tool called knife. Knife is a command line tool which will help us to interact with the chef server. So without knife command line tool, we cannot interact with the chef server. So that is why, so knife command line tool very important. So whenever we are working with the chef, so chef, because we have to do a couple of commands, like if you are able to, if you want to create an environment, you can create an environment using the command line knife command line tool. You can create a role, you can create an environment, you can create a cookbook, and you can create a recipe, whatever you want. You can do it from the command line tool called knife only. Knife command line, what knife command line tool contains? So knife command line tool is nothing but a knife.rb, which contains the default location of the knife.rb file, knife.rb, and then where your .chef file contains .chef folder. So you use both files and then file, and then as well as a directory. The reference will contain the .chef folder. Suppose if you see here. So knife.rb, .chef means it's a knife.rb, and then if you see, open the knife.rb, what will you see? So knife.rb contains the cookbook path. Where exactly you are storing the cookbook. Cookbook path is where? Root chef repo cookbooks. Okay, root chef repo cookbooks. So this is masterless. So that is why we don't have any information. If it is a master client server architecture, then what will happen? So your live data contains complete information about the server, like this information, current directory, file name, file, and then client key. You have to get the key from the server, and validation key. You have to get the key from the organization validator. You have to get the key from the validation key. You have to get the chef server URL. You have to get the cache option. You have to get the cookbook paths. So right now in our knife.rb, we have only cookbook path only. This cookbook path current directory and cookbook. So if it is a why, because right now we are working in the ops code chefs. That means master as chef. If it is a client server architecture, that means chef server is there, and then master agent is there. In that case, definitely we should have all this information, log level information and log location, and then node name, and then client name, and then validation client name, and then validation key, and then chef server URL, and then cache type, and then cache option. These are all information we should have. Otherwise, we should not interact with the server.
Okay, so if it is a night.rb is something like or architecture, so we should have a complete information like log level, log location, node name, and then client key, and then validation client name. Each information we should have in the night.rb. So right now, if you see in our case, in our machine, so right now we have only uh, in live.rb cookbook path, only root, chef repo, and then cookbooks. Only this path only is there. Mm, yeah, so this is the way we can create a recipe and then we can execute the recipe. So creating the recipe, just create any RB file, like create a new RB file, and then so once you create the new RB file, and then if you say chef icon apply and then give the RB file path, then immediately you can execute the file. Then whatever you have written in the resources, that will be implemented within that particular machine. Okay. Yeah, so we don't have any model concept here, so we will call it as a cookbooks. Models will be in the puppet, uh, and then cookbooks will be in the chef. So we are calling it as a chef. Sorry, cookbooks in the chef. Okay, so this is basically so once you install the chef Oxford chef, then you can do all this stuff. Like knife is a command line to knife cookbook, create our cookbook. Knife roll, create a DB roll. Okay, please set editor, environment variable. Knife roll, create a DB. Knife cookbook. List. So right now it is not interacting the server, so that is why. Knife roll, create new. Yeah. So if you want to see the what are the cookbooks are there, CD cookbooks and then test and then test server cookbooks. So you can create a number of cookbooks are there. Okay, and I create. So like this, you can create a number of cookbooks. Okay, knife cookbook, create my cookbook, knife cookbook, Create test cookbook. Okay. So all cookbooks will be in the cookbook part. So root chef repo and then slash cookbooks. You will find all the cookbooks. So once you enter inside the cookbook, then you will see recipes and then resources and then templates and then definitions and then files and then attributes. Something wherever you want you can. So just go to the recipes. So here whatever the food you want to you can write it. So you can write the code, whatever the code we already written the code. So you can execute it. Directly you can execute it and you can you can execute the code, and then once you execute the code, whatever you have written in the resources, that will be implemented in your machine itself. That means your machine will change the desired status. Okay. Okay. Now we'll go to the we'll see some of the hosted chef. Hosted chef. For hosted chef, you have to go to the manage and chef IO. Okay, hosted chef, sign in username, email address, and then password. You just sign in. Manage.chef.io. Manage.chef.io. Just remember manage.chef.io. You have to register here. Okay, so once you register here, so you can once you log in here, so you will see all these notes and then reports. Notes, reports, policy, and then administration, and then sign a company DevOps my profile. You want, you can create an organization. Protect organization. So okay, so this protects organization. So what we have to do is, so something I created an organization in the server chef.chef manage.chef.io. From there what I have to do is, so if I download the starter kit, so I'll get the entire stuff from the master. So there is something starter kit. So in starter kit, so I have a download starter kit, and then so learn chef, and then one more button is there. I'll go for a download starter kit. Okay, so proceed. Okay, this is the one we downloaded right now. Okay, this is the one we downloaded. Okay, chef repo is extracted. So this chef repo, same whatever there in the dot chef, so you can create same thing in the your local machine. So wherever you are working on it. Hosted chef is something. It's like there already server is there. Server they are already providing the something server kind of stuff for us. So Oxcode company is providing server setup for us. Setup for us. We just take the download from the start, download the starter kit. So at least 5 nodes we can 5 nodes it can be managed. So 5 starter kit you can download from my side. I can download it, and your side also you can download it. And then so once we download it, and then after that we'll write something cookbooks, and then once we write the cookbook, and then we'll upload the cookbooks to the server. And then so whenever something any change is happening, then immediately that changes will be reflected on your local machine. That same thing whatever it is there, we'll write it in our local machine. So knife.rb. So whatever it is there, I'm just copying it. I'm copying in the where I'm copying it. So cd.chef, inside that cd.chef, inside that knife.rb. So knife.rb, what I am doing, I am just copying and control C and paste it here. Okay, I'm removing this one. Okay, and then what else is there in the knife.rb? Devops-Chef mines. Devops-Chef mines. .com. Okay, so it is done. These are not required. Okay, so whether it is done or not, so we can easily run the command knife client list. Yeah, so knife client list, if I say knife client list, it is showing that knife node list. Yeah, knife client list. Okay, protest validator. That means we just now created a protest. If you remember protest, we just created a protest organization. So that same thing the same organization we are getting in my local machine. Okay, so now what I will do, so right now whatever the cookbooks I have, I will upload the cookbooks to the server. Knife upload start. I can use it later. Okay, knife cookbook upload. Okay. Knife cookbook upload start. Cookbooks are not here. CD cookbook cookbooks in your path. Okay. Knife cookbook upload start. Level so knife.rb remove and I replaced the server knife.rb to my local knife.rb. Okay, so what happened right now? Knife cookbook upload start. That means whatever the cookbooks are there in the local machine, I just say that upload it to the server. So if you see here now, if I go to the server organization, organization, okay. Status organization, and then go to the notes and reports and the policy. Those are the books. Yeah, that's what I think happened. Organization change organization. Administration. See what are the cookbooks are there? That is that cookbooks came to this place, my cookbook and then my test and then our cookbook test and then test cookbook. Just now we have on which cookbook we have written the code. So we have written the code in the I think test cookbook, right? Okay. So we have written the code in the test cookbook. So if you see that. Yeah, right now we didn't change anything, so that is why we did not change anything. See, nothing is there. You see here, content. So this is the code we have written. If you remember, this is the code we have written. Written in the local machine, and then we upload that everything to the server. Okay, so now what we have to do is, so we have to go to the environment, and then so in our environment we have to select attributes. This is the permissions. Now we have to go to the nodes. So if you go to nodes, I don't have any environments for this. I don't have any environment. Okay, so I have to create the environment as well. Okay, wait. Staging. E to E. Created. Set. So once that environment is created, so what we have to do is, so we have to go to the nodes. Yeah, environment, and then as well as you have to create the roles as well. DB role, application server role, and then MQ role, DB application server MQ, and then SQL role, and then CA. Okay, so this is basically role. You can edit the run list. Go to the policy and go to the run list. So if I want to make the particular node machine, I will copy the DV run list here, sorry, DV role here, and then cookbook something. If I want to create that file or something Nginx I want to install it, then I will move to the test cookbook here. Then I save the run list. So that means by CI will become a that whatever the roles I selected, it will perform that one. So I can edit this also. Edit run list DB. So again select the DB and then cookbook something I'll take it. Otherwise something cookbook is not there, then I don't say something I'll assign the cookbook my cookbook. Okay, and then save the run list. Something application software, edit run list, and then application software, and then something any cookbook is there for that purpose. I will drop the cookbook and then save the run list. This is the way we have to do it. Something if you don't want to update from here, so you can update from in local machine as well. Knife. What are the roles are there in knife? Role list. What are the roles are there? So directly ASCA DB. Knife env list. Knife environment. You have to use the environment. Knife environment list. So these are the environments right now I have. So I can create an environment from here and then upload to the hosted chef. From hosted chef also I can create the environment. From there also I can download it. So from vice versa, whatever the things I want, I can get it from the hosted chef, and then whatever the things I want, I can move from my local machine. So these are all things will be done by knife command line tool only. Without knife command line tool, I cannot do all these activities. Okay, so any questions?